and welcome to the spoiler rant for Captain Marvel, I mean Shazam. As you can see, I feel very strongly about Shazam and Captain Marvel. This is where I talk about spoilers and spoil the movie for you completely, and if you haven't seen the movie, probably don't want to watch this. I'm just going to be ranting about different things that would have spoiled the movie if I had said it in the movie review. So I'm going to first talk about the villain of the story, because I've already talked a lot about the protagonist, Shazam, and Zachary Levi's performance in my movie review. If you haven't seen that, please go check it out. The antagonist for this is good. Like, he's a pretty basic villain, and that's what this story needed, because the focus was not on the villain, it was on the protagonist, which is Shazam. The 7 deadly sins were kind of like basic monsters, and by that I mean their character design was kind of a little bit iffy. I really would have liked to see it if, like, Greed was, like, you know, looked like he was greedy, like he had thousands of hands. Envy was actually really good character design, because he's just this tiny little monster Schmeagle-like thing. Anyways, there's this point in time where Shazam is like, you know that they're just using you to get what they want, right? And, like, the guy's like, what? And we're like, yeah, what? I mean, it's an obvious thing, but they never showed it. Like, the 7 deadly sins never, like, there was, like, whisperings of the mind, like, sort of ideas where it's like, oh yes, you can get all this that you want and more, and, like, egging this antagonist on and just figuring, you know, messing with his head and showing the audience that they don't really want this host. Like, they want to be free out in the world. But overall, the villain was good. The guy who played the antagonist was very good. Some of the things was kind of weird, like, the first time we meet him, he's a kid, and then you meet him again as an adult, and you see, like, this progression, this villain story arc, but you're like, why is he so upset about this one thing? I would have moved on from that. It's taken you, like, what, 20 years to get over this? About the family aspect of Shazam, I liked it. It had a nice touch to it. Most of the family characters were developed really well. Like, all of the foster siblings and the 2 parents did a really good job as actors and as characters. Characters were really well written out, and the actors played them off really, really well. Their entire purpose was to show Billy's personal flaws. The filmmakers didn't do it in a way that was super blatant and obvious about it. And I think that was really nice, that the characters by themselves are characters, but they also, like, add to the character arc of the main protagonist. Overall, it was really entertaining. I enjoyed it. I told you guys in the movie review that I would probably buy this and watch it over and over again. Like, that's how much I liked it. Even though there was some certain plot holes and some clichéness and cheesiness about it, I did like it. Again, Zachary Levi fit the role so perfectly, and he was in perfect chemistry with all of the other characters and actors. One of the kids, I don't know what his name is, it's the little scrawny kid with the limp. That character can get annoying very quickly, and the way that the kid played it, it wasn't annoying. Obviously his character was annoying in the parts that it meant to be annoying, but overall, like, the actor didn't play off of the stereotypes of what the character was supposed to be like. He portrayed it in a way that was real and, like, you could emotionally connect with it. The cast was beautifully chosen, so it made it feel like superheroing was, like, a normal occurrence, rather than, like, Superman and Batman, who are, like, you know, you're watching these people and you're like, yeah, but that would never happen in real life. This movie played it off like it would happen in real life. We've gotten our fair share of superhero origin stories in the past few years, and it can actually get boring after a while, but this movie played it off in a way that it wasn't cliche or boring, and it had a new spin to it, obviously, because it's Shazam. We've never seen the superhero on, like, in feature films before, I don't think. The special effects for this was kind of distracting, because they're creating these monsters that, you know, don't actually exist in the real world, so we have to, like, actually create them. Sometimes the CGI was distracting and other times it wasn't, but overall it wasn't really distracting. Lastly, I'm gonna just talk about the costume. Like, the costume is, like, one of the main things about a superhero. That's how you identify them when they're, like, I don't know, flying or just racing off to do something. You would see Shazam, like, running or flying in something, and you'd immediately recognize him by the logo and the suit. Shazam's costume looks so ridiculous, but they played it off in a way that, you know, made fun of the outfit, and it makes it more acceptable because they're conscious of what they have on. Like, if I was a superhero that turned into an adult with a bolt of lightning, I would question my outfit choices too. If I forgot anything, it's probably not super important, but have a great run of Thursday. I'll see you on the other side of the screen. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!